Eddie. And Nancy, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Eddie. How you doing?
I'm all right, and you?
You're looking smashy in this red. I love this. I love the works.
Oh.
Yeah, those, what they call them?
The beads, the
beads,
stones,
yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. You're
Eddie,
looking bad too.
Thank you. So the rains are here. And everybody's talking flood.
Yeah,
it's
a serious thing.
It's a serious thing.
It was forecasted, so
yes,
a lot of people
Quite among the states, I think 20 states that were giving red alerts for flooding. And it's when I heard the news yesterday, I was like, oh goodness, I just hope this is not going to affect us badly. You know, if it's a little flood we used to have that comes in and then, you know, within hours it's gone, it's okay. But you know, those devastating flooding like the one that Lagos State had recently, that's a sad one.
There are areas that experience that here in Uyo. So you are saying this because of the topography, the area too, where they have drainages. So you see a lot of people, there are some areas where when it rains, they don't sleep at home.
Well, talking about that, what's her name? Uche, our copper, she sent me a video this afternoon of her house.
Oh, really?
You wouldn't want to see this. I'm telling you.
Oh,
and you begin to wonder which rain. Because when I saw this, I was like, when did it rain this heavy?
This morning, the rains this morning has been a very heavy one. Very heavy rain. And then for such areas that are prone to flooding and that have had gutters that are not distilled, so you're definitely going to have that.
But when are we going to start learning? When will Nigerians take proactive measures, you know, in combating some of these things we know that happens annually? You know, most of these areas is not a new thing to them. They experience this kind of flooding year in, year out. So why would people still wake up and pour trash into the gutter waterways? You know, why would people still sit down and watch their gutters being blocked with sand and not do something about it?
That's the question. That's the question. And you might have one or two people out there trying to do the needful, and then the person doesn't have the support of others. So normally, you as a human being, you'll get overwhelmed after a while.
You know, I remember one time when we were doing some reporting on, you know, things like this, and we went around looking at people who sweep the road. You know, when they sweep, they don't sweep to pack these things. No, they sweep them into the gutter.
They are also, and they are being paid for that job. They are being paid for that. So they're also the cost of all of this. Yeah.
So what do we do, Eddie? What do we do? Because it's just like the advocating, the talking to people is not helping. Every year we still get this kind of issue. I mean, so what is the way forward?
We have to be our brother's keeper. We have to start reporting defaulters to authorities, and authorities need to be up to their game. They should come up with disciplinary measures, you know, so that when those people are being reported, they will take action. So all of that it's a whole process.
Well, the other day I was talking about a guy who threw trash, a bottle of water, you know, after drinking from his car. He just dumped it. And then I followed him because I knew we were going to the traffic, you know, so I followed him immediately. And when we stopped at the traffic, I came down and then I told him why he had to do that. The guy just looked at me and he didn't even say one word. He just wind up his glass. So if people don't care, you know, so just this is me now doing something. What I regretted not doing that day was not picking up that bottle and then went after him. So that immediately I came to him, I will just put it back inside so that we can make that trouble, you know. Yeah. So now this is me in my own little space, making an effort for people to try to be clean, you know, stop dumping refuge indiscriminately, you understand. Now this is the reaction I got from a Nigerian who would someday now come out and start talking plenty.
And thank God he wasn't the aggressive type that probably would have accosted you. Oh yeah.
So you see, now when you see these people sweeping things into the gutter and you try to tell them otherwise, you become the enemy.
I was just playing out the scenario in my mind, imagining you attacking him, and he's also coming out to attack you. And then people are just watching and not trying to help you, and you're asking yourself,
who said me?
Yeah.
So you see, so that is why so many, when they see these things happening, they just turn the other way because nobody wants to get into trouble.
Exactly.
But then this thing have a way of coming back to us. Now, these flooded houses, this house is overwhelmed with, this could be as a result of what they've been doing or what their neighbors have been doing that they refuse to talk about. And they are the ones suffering it.
Yeah, and sometimes we are the architects of our problems, because I listened to a radio show and they were talking about flooding because it's really a current issue now.
Okay.
So, and the guy was like, most people build on coastal lines. Some refill flooded areas, and build on it. And water is a natural thing.
If it doesn't see the way to go through, it definitely will
flood. It might recede now, and tomorrow it returns and all of that. So definitely, and you can control it.
Oh, goodness.
But you risk your life, you risk everything, thinking, okay, I have sand filled it will be fine. So like I learned like the Lagos flood.
Yeah, flood in Lagos.
That's one of the reasons.
And talking about the refilling,
fill up
some filling of waterways.
Exactly.
I think that's a common thing in Lagos, especially when you come to that Lekki axis of Lagos State. I think almost all the areas, the island, it's filled with water, but they had to fill everything with sand and then build beautiful houses, and then the water comes and destroys all the houses. So to what extent, All right. Let's go on a very short break. When we'll come back, we'll introduce our guest as well as our topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
1 hour of your daily dose of news from around the world.
Whether it's a diplomatic breakthrough, a humanitarian crisis, or a scientific discovery, Global Digest gives you a deeper understanding of the world around you. Join me, Alma Marcus. Let's stay ahead of the curve with conversations that are shaping our planet at 11 a.m. on DSTV, channel 258, and on Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
Thanks for being there. So the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. This is a quote by St. Augustine. Thanks for being there and welcome back. Sorry for the little delay in starting up. So today we are embarking on a fascinating journey to explore the transformative power of travel. Join us as we delve into the stories and experiences of our guest, Olugbenga Omotayo Sunday, who is a national award-winning tourism and hospitality consultant. He's a member of the Institute of Hospitality UK and a member of the Association of Tourism and Hospitality Consultants of Nigeria. He's a certified hospitality, tourism and travel professional from Florida, Atlanta University, the USA. He's initiator of Igbarakpa Tourism, Agenda Destination Manager, Idara Hills, founder of Hotel Managers School and the convener of Hotel Managers Conference Africa. He has undergone significant personal transformation through his travel. We will explore the ways in which travel can shape our lives and broaden our perspective. Thank you, Mr. Benga, for being there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm so sorry about the little delay.
No problem.
All right. So let's dive in. I'm so excited to hear your stories. I see you have traveled a lot, far and wide. So it's only exciting for me to hear these stories of things you have encountered, you know. But let's start it this way. Can you tell us a little bit about your earliest journeys? You know, the first journey you made that propelled you into this lots of journeys you have made, if you understand.
So I'm going to give credit to the NYSC initiatives.
Okay.
Because I grew up in a village, or let me say in a town, in a very small town called Idere, in the Ibarapa Central Local Government of Oyo State.
Okay.
And I did everything there, my primary, my secondary, and from the secondary I moved to the higher institutions. But my first major traveling is when I had to go for NYSC.
Okay.
And that was in 2003, August precisely, March B. I was posted to Akwa Ibom State.
Oh, really?
Yes. The first problem I had is how to pronounce where I was posted to. Because that was the first time I was seeing Isiratai local government in the rating. And I was asking myself, how do I pronounce this place I was posted to? Eventually, that was a major journey I ever made in my life. I was 24 then, traveled using one of these night buses, these big Marco Polo buses to Akwa Ibom State. And that was the first major travel experience I had. So I can tell you that has changed a lot about me. That has given me leverage to see the need to travel. Thank you.
All right. Well, this impact you've had with this particular journey you made, was it positive? You know, it opened your way. Did it open your, you know, I don't know, that inner part of you that makes you want to travel more? You know, I just wanted to know where the spirit or the joy or the passion for traveling came from.
All right, thank you. Now, let me say my journey to Akwa Ibom State did not just end in 1 year. I had to stay back, and I spent 15 years in Akwa Ibom State before I finally relocated back to Southwest. The first thing I saw is that I saw how limited I was.
Okay.
You know, let me start from the food. When I got to Akwa Ibom, I found out that the proper food, which is the one we use swallow to eat, I mean soup, you don't need to put stew on top of it. As a Yoruba man, there's no food that will come. We have to put stew on it. Is it okra? You have to put stew. Is it a wedu? You have to put stew. Is it a goosey? Sometimes you have to put stew. Even our foriro, which is vegetables, you still have to put stew. But when I got to Akwa Ibom, I encounter afan soup. I encounter white soup. I encounter a whole lot of soup. I was like, so I'm so limited that I believe you must use stew to eat everything. So that's number one. Number two, I found out that it is actually good to travel far away. You have this feeling that not just within, you feel so enlightened. There are new things you are discovering. One of the things I so much love is their food and their culture. How domestic a man can be. Imagine most of the Akwa Ibom men can cook. They go to the kitchen, they cut leaves, and I was like, this is not the way it is where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from, majority of men don't cook. We don't even go near, apart from our normal rice and beans you can boil. So I became so interested in those new things. I'm like, this is good. You see an Akwa Ibom person, a man, entering the kitchen and cooking like a chef. So those are the things. I see where women work. Because in Yoruba land, you only see a woman going to farm. It's not their work in Yoruba land. Oh. But over there, I see women tilling ground. I see women climbing their bicycle in the morning and rode it to their farms and cultivate. So a lot of things, and that's actually, I had to stay back after my NYSC. Oh. And I started my journey. I lived in Akwa Ibom State for 15 years. Huh. And before I now delved into hospitality, from hospitality, I moved to tourism. Thank you.
Oh, wow. So I'm sure by now you should know how to prepare some of the delicacies here. I should
be able to do afan. I'll try afan soup. This is my favorite.
All right, Eddie.
So, Doctor, are you telling us that tourism and hospitality wasn't your first stint in? That's not what you studied, but you got into it by.
Yes, I actually studied accounting, my first degree, and I joined Oceanic Bank then in Eket, Akwa Ibom State. So after 4 years of my banking experience, I lost my job. That was when I think Eco Bank bought Oceanic Bank. That's why I lost my job, because we now have two of Eco Bank in Eket. Some of us lost our job in the process. And I was introduced to hospitality sector by a mentor that I would do well in that sector. I didn't actually take it very serious because I felt that how would I go to school and end up working in a hotel? And that is how I found myself in this sector since 2012. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I started with Monty Suite, Uyo, and I became their group GM eventually. And wow. Today, I'm a national figure in hospitality and tourism. Thank you.
Okay, so talking about cultural practices, having been in this hospitality outfit and tourism sector, is there any way it has informed or changed your attitude towards certain beliefs or practices culturally? I know when you started telling us about it, you mentioned the food. You knew, okay, yeah, that there could be better food, or there are variety of food, not that it's better, variety of food other than what you have at the western side. So aside the food, how about other cultural practices? How has this affected your belief and all of that?
So one of the things that traveling has helped me on the cultural perspective is number one, I begin to learn new things. I mean, more things about culture. Now, because traveling, I've come to see so many things that are different from what I believe. So many things that I see people's way of life. Let me start by saying that I begin to understand that by and large, things I criticized before, I now have tolerance for it. because I not understand why they are doing it. Because most times we travel to the core north, we come to the south, we come to the southeast. And I found out that culture defines us.
Yeah.
Culture defines us, defines different race. And our different culture actually differentiate who we are as people. And what that has done to me is I now begin to understand the need to be tolerant when it comes to culture, how people behave. Now, I'm going to cite some examples here. Do you know that like when I went to Ilorin, I visited the Emir Palace.
Okay.
And you can't even enter without removing your shoe. And I'm asking myself, why do I need to remove my shoe all the time before I can enter a particular place? And of course, it's their place of prayers. So I begin to see the need, because the tour guide will take his time to explain to us why we need to behave in a particular way. And that has actually opened my eyes to tolerate some different cultures that are not aligned with where I'm coming from.
Okay.
All right. Let's go a bit further now. Traveling and experiencing, journey, all those things. In what way do you think it affects our mental health and our well-being?
Yes, I think traveling practically excites almost everybody on earth. I've not found somebody that is, maybe you will look for one for me.
I'm here.
Anybody that here, we are moving out of this space. I mean, where they used to be. There is this excitement in everyone. Whether you are driving to that place, whether you are using boat, whether you are flying, there is this excitement of, oh, let me go and experience new things. Let me go and experience new food. Let me go and be taken care of. Because when you travel like that, most times you'll be taken care of there. There will not be stress that surrounds your abode. There will not be stress around your home because you're already out of that place. There's a lot of excitement that comes with traveling. And that is actually the first area it helps our mental health. And I will tell you with my own examples, I will tell you that traveling is actually the best form of education because it has exposed me to so many things. And I've been able to achieve where I am today because I traveled a lot. Today now, I can say we are putting together different race, different ethnic groups, different nations in one space because travel has made me connect to them. And one thing about traveling is that you make new friends. Let's say, for instance, you are a Yoruba man. When you travel, you have the tendency of having friends from Hausa friends. You have tendency of having Igbo friends, Efik friends, Ibibio friends, Fulani friends. Let's now take it outside the country. You begin to have friends from Ghana, friends from Cote d'Ivoire. So you can understand, you can see how beautiful it is to check who are your friends, and they're not just your ethnic group. It's beautiful because from there you have crossbreed of culture, crossbreed of beliefs, and you learn a lot of things from them. So to me, traveling is actually something nobody should ignore as long as life is concerned. Thank you.
So would you say this has surpassed the traditional classroom learning we do? In any way?
You can't even, but I will say that you can only learn, let's say, 20% from the classroom. 20%. I tell you, it is better experience. Okay, how do you want to explain in the classroom how afan soup tastes? I don't know where you are from. Or how do you want to explain in the classroom how a pan kukwo tastes? You can explain it. You can only bring the picture for me to see. Or tuwo, you can explain tuwo. And apart from that, there are some things that is better to be experienced than the classroom. So to me, classroom prepares us, give us information. So traveling is the main thing. And I would say classroom is for 20% and 80% goes for the real experience.
All right.
Okay, so what are the risk factors? I agree with you with some points you have raised, that for the experiences, it is better experience than reading about it in a book, because I know that having a personal experience is far more better, and then it makes you understand. But, and you also said something, that there's nobody that wouldn't want to travel. I know Nancy here is one person that doesn't like traveling. So, and we have the likes of her also around. She is not just the only person. For such people, what do you think could be the reason, what could be their fears? And also, what are the risk factors in this sector?
Okay, I would say that people in that category, they may have some psychological, I don't want to use the word disorder, but indifference, because we have people that have phobia.
It's phobia.
Phobia for so many things. They are so comfortable with where they are. So they don't want to take any risk. They don't want to take any risk outside where they are already used to. I've seen people that will travel to a place, they will carry their food. They will not even, they have the fear of trying another person's food, because they believe they can react to it. They believe it might not go down well with their health. So people like that, they will have problem with traveling. Then we have to have phobia for flight. Some will have phobia for road transport. Some have phobia for water. So those are the factors. And I will tell you, some people can actually be encouraged. One of the things I try to do with those people is that I take them on a virtual tour.
Okay.
I tell them, come and watch this video. Let them watch the videos and see how beautiful the other side is. From there, they can begin to have craving to experience it. That's number one. So I'm going to go back to the risk factor. Yes, even there's nothing on this earth that does not come with risk. One of the things I try to do is that when you are taking that risk, be able to evaluate the risk. Yes, there are people that still find it adventurous to go to war zone. Some people are so interested to just want to see how rough a place could be. But that's not me. No, what I do is that, number one, I take risk. The risk of transporting myself there is risky, especially in a country like this. Traveling from one place to another, we all know how risky it could be. Some people have been kidnapped in the process. Some people have been raped in the process. Some people have been killed in the process. But can we now say that because of this risk of losing our life, we will not travel? No. Because even in that spot that you are, in your corner, in your space, you can still die. Misfortune can still happen. So to me, those should not be a factor that will stop us from traveling. Another thing is money, because some people don't want to lose money. They want to accumulate the wealth. And I'm asking myself, are you aware that next of kin, they are not smiling? So where you live, you will spend your money. So some people are considering, how do I travel to UK and I'm spending 3 million naira? We have an event we are going for in South Africa. And I asked the organizer to give me the summary of what it will cost me to go for that event in September. And he told me it's going to cost us 3 million naira for everything, total package. So some people have phobia. They don't know. Some people don't just want to spend their money, even when they have it. So we have people that have insatiable appetite to accrue wealth. So they don't want to touch that money. So those are because traveling is expensive. Whether any means you choose is not because when you are traveling, you consider accommodation, your feeding, your laundry, your sightseeing, then your transportation is there, whether by road or air or water. So to me, those are the risk factors. And I will say this, the traveling can actually change your beliefs. So some people have this fear of going to the north, but the fear of not being converted to Islam. Some people say, no, don't go there. They will go and convert you to Islam and all that. So those are the risk factors that are there. But I can tell you, all this risk is not enough, because the God that has created the whole world is wise enough, and nothing should stop us from exploring what God has created. Thank you.
All right, so I love the fact that you said nothing should stop us from exploring what God has made. Well, I do not like moving out of my comfort zone. I don't like stress, going to the airport, entering buses, going to new places, adapting to new environments. They all seem like stress to me. Even though I'm forced to do it at times, I just have to do them, but I really do not like it. So probably I should go look for the psychological word you're looking for there to fit into what is wrong with me. Okay. So, but then I would like you to give me more benefits on things I stand to gain when I leave my comfort zone through traveling.
I'll tell you 4.
All right.
Number 1, you meet new friends. Don't you love to meet new friends? That's number 1. You will meet new friends. There's no way you will travel without connecting to new friends. And that will now take me to the second benefit. You will be exposed to more businesses opportunities. Because in meeting new friends, that is where you begin to see another kind of business you can do to better your life.
Yeah.
In meeting new friends, you are exposed to new knowledge on things you can still do to improve your whole life. And I will say this, you learn new culture added to your own. For instance now, I can tell my wife, please, I'm sorry I need to emphasize on Akwa Ibom State because I lived there for 15 years.
No, it's okay.
But I still travel to other places. I've been to close to 31 states in Nigeria. So I can tell my wife now that please, I want that this soup that they use is it's banga soup in Akwa Ibom, atama. I can tell my wife I want atama soup now. You know what that means? I'm a Yoruba man. We now live in Southwest. I cannot travel to Akwa Ibom State. There's no way I will know such a rich food. There's no way you will serve a white soup for a Yoruba man. He will be looking at you. I'll be wondering, what is this one? I mean, the white soup. So let me leave the food now because before you call me foodie. Let me move to a whole lot that has to do with their dress, their language. So traveling, it's actually you can, but exposure makes you better. You stand better in the society. You are more accepted when you travel. You are more accepted. You are having a conversation, and you are referring to Ghana, you are referring to Cote d'Ivoire, you are referring to Uganda, you are referring to Kano, you are referring to Akwa Ibom State. People accept you more. But every of your examples is just about within your circle. They will know that you cannot be trusted and you've not really been exposed. So we cannot even mention, we have a whole lot. What about your education? When you are talking in the society, you now have a broad knowledge when it comes to things that has to do with human race, culture, and places. You can talk about places to people, and those are the advantages I have derived from traveling. Thank you.
All right. So all of this you've mentioned, have they in any way shaped your beliefs? The things you believed in. Did it change it, or did it kind of enhance it?
Yes. I will say yes.
Okay.
I will say yes. Let me give you a very good example. I will go religion now. Where I grew up from, we don't really have much of Catholic church. We don't really have more of Catholic church. We only have more of Baptist, Methodist. But when I travel, the more I see different faces of even the Christianity. So I begin to see that, okay, and I begin to have interest in studying their own doctrines. So, and what that has done to me is things I have criticized before, I begin to understand it because they have their own doctrines, and they have their own histories. Now, when it comes to culture, for instance, now where I say I live, they have this hero, it's just a wrapper that a man will wear wrapper and tie it properly, and that gives me an understanding that okay, a man can actually tie wrapper. And during one of my programs, I have done that. I dress as an Ibibio man. I tie my wrapper very well and wear something on top. So this has really been things that have shaped my mentality, my life. I told you before that I don't believe I can actually eat a mole, I can eat a swallow without putting stew on top. But today, I can eat all kind of vegetables without putting stew on it. If you put stew for me now, I can even reject it. Thank you.
Okay. So I was looking at you telling us about when we looked at the risk factors, people who want to travel and the steps they need to take so that they don't run into the wrong set of people, the wrong set of tour guides, such experiences. Having traveled, have you had people who you probably ran into and they almost misled you? And what do you do? How do you go about it? Especially in a foreign land, when you travel, how do you, for security purposes, how do you handle such issues?
Yes, I would say I have had a lot of experiences where we are tracing a waterfall and somebody give us a wrong direction. We have to go to a different town entirely that is not even around the vicinity of that waterfall. We've learned some lessons. Some people will tell you, use this hotel. But after you have made all the payments, you go to the hotel, it's not a place you can sleep. So I will say that traveling should be planned. Traveling should not be spontaneous. There are people that do spontaneous traveling, but I will not advise it in this, our new dispensation. Your traveling should be planned and have a checklist. Let me say that when it comes to traveling within Nigeria here, we have an association called National Association of Tour Operators of Nigeria, NATOR. Tour operators, they have their body. Okay. Now, people like that can be contacted. Then we have some people that are registered tour operators. They have their company, they have their pages they run on social media. So, to me, traveling should not be spontaneous, it should be planned. That's number one. Number two, check everything. Know where you are going to and ask questions. Read about the feedbacks. Sometimes some of these places cannot be accessed again, especially those that are going for tourist sites. Some of them are shut down. If you don't check, update, make calls. Don't just go there. Make calls. Know the state of the destination you are going to. And do you know that, like for instance now, last week, we have this Oro festival in Ijebu side, that a female cannot go to that town in that period. Imagine somebody traveling, you don't make proper inquiries and findings. And as a female, you now run into such a place where it is forbidden for a female to enter that town for like, I think 3 or 4 days. So that's why I said you cannot just travel, make adequate findings, tick all your boxes. And thank God for this world that we are now, digital world. You can access so many things online, so many things. You can have them to send you videos. You can have them to do the costing, check all kinds of things. Everything you will need, we need to tick it. It's very, very important. I've been to places where you cannot drink their water or you cannot use their water to have your bath. But right there, they are using that water to bath. But if I try it, I'm sure I'm going to have reactions and all that. What do? I have made adequate plan for water, maybe to be boiled or get some pure water to support and all that. So it's good to plan. Then I will say that if you need a tour guide, it's important you actually profile that person. There are some people you can check. Oh, help me check this person. You can send to me as a person. Oh, this is the person I'm going to Kano. This is our tour guide. This is the company that's handling our tour. So those things are good. Do your double check so that you don't run into the hands of the wrong people.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Benga. But I can't let you go without talking about, since you've been in Akwa Ibom State for over 15 years, you should be able to know some of the tourist attractions we have here. But my question is this, when we talk of tourism in the state, or let's just say Akwa Ibom, where do you see us? And what do you think we can do to improve?
Yes, I would say that Akwa Ibom has a lot of potentials. And I'm happy that in Arise agenda of the governor, the new governor, the Pastor Umo in the state, he has included tourism. And I would say that Akwa Ibom is still a destination. The former commissioner usually described Akwa Ibom as best kept secret, best kept secret. And I love that statement because there's a whole lot in Akwa Ibom. Let me start from Ibno. Look at Ibno, look at it's quite long. Look at the coastline there, lying down. What happened to the beach resort? We've not found anyone up to now. I pray that our new governor will do something about it. We need a destination there. We need a beach resort in Hibno. No, it's just lying there, doing nothing. And I'll come back to a place like the Korabasi. A lot of things happen in the Korabasi. I've been there, I've taken tourists there a couple of times while I was living in Akwa Ibom State. Imagine where Amalgamation House is. Look at such a place. What about the bridge of no return? Look at where the bomb. Have you been there? The slave bomb, where they usually store our forefathers before they transport them to Europe for slavery. Bridge of no return. Such historical. If you see another house, a slave warehouse where they weigh our forefathers before they move there. So such place. What about the Aba Umara that they did? They have this beautiful and well detailed detailed museum that is there. So that is the Korabasi side. So now come back to Uyo. You see, it's a whole lot. Akwa Ibom has, but in different local governments, you see so many histories. My former boss, Honorable Monday Ebonko, now the Commissioner for Youth and Sport, is from Port Akara. So many histories tied down there. What about Rafia Market in the Kotekpene? All these are tourism potentials. Big, huge one if they are fully developed and looked into. Akwa Ibom is a beautiful place that I will tell you, okay, there's a place we discover with Ibom tourism.
Rebuilding trust. Manipulated and conned over time, Nigerians are confused about whom to believe. Trust is the foundation upon which organized progressive societies are built. Trust embodies important elements of life. This 5-letter word, trust, has a deep meaning for whom we are and what we have become. It means being transparent, reliable, understanding, sincere, and truthful. Without any of these elements at play, societies become chaotic and completely disorganized, while anarchy sets in. Lies, half-truth, and deception have created mistrust of the government and by extension impacted the everyday lives of the citizens. Many of the woes being witnessed in Nigeria today have evolved from a lack of or betrayal of trust. We must retrace our steps.
We have so many issues to deal with or to grapple with. Issues of economy, employment, poverty, and so forth and so on. And trust shouldn't be one of them.
The trust deficit is a huge problem between government and the government, individuals and their communities, politicians and their constituents, the armed forces and the civilian populations, private service providers and consumers, the courts and litigants, traditional rulers and their subjects, and even between religious institutions and their faithful. But how did we get here? And what should we do to rebuild these broken elements?
If you go to the market, I have witnessed it, where even the measuring board is indented that way so that it will appear full, but you are buying just half of what you are told is being displayed for sale.
Something went wrong. What, when, and how are issues needing interrogation, and these are the questions that this platform will regularly attempt to address and provide informed and cogent answers to.
With history and culture, Nigerians face challenges that test the resilience and spirit